If parenthood came with a GPS, it would most likely just say recalculating. Join Yolandi Becker and her guest experts Wednesdays at 11 a.m. for Bump and Beyond, the show about pregnancy and babies. 101.9 megahertz of life.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. You are, yes, on Bump and Beyond, and this is me, Yolandi Becker, hosting you for today. And I've just realized as I was preparing for the show this morning that I'm very surely coming up on 1 year. So I don't know, Craig is going to have to inform me what is the appropriate celebration for 1 year in radio. I don't know if we do like a reunion show or what needs to happen, but more on that to come. But again, today, this show is all about parenting, and I am very excited about our topic today. But as always, please remember that I want you to be part of this discussion. So if you want to phone in, please phone in on 010-140-3020. You can telegram us on 061-895-1019, or you can SMS us at 34519. Remember, SMSs are charged at R1.50. Like I said, now we're very close to getting to 1 year. And the fun part about that is that we've got a very good library on as a podcast on our website, highfm.com, on various topics parenting. So if you are wondering about something, you should go check it out. And if it's not there, just send me an email, and then we can discuss this in more detail with one of our experts. So today's topic came up very coincidentally. I think she actually emailed me, but not to be part of the show for another reason. And then I liked her so much that I was like, oh, she would be such a great guest on the show and to talk about this, because we've all seen those silly social media posts where they're telling you it takes a village to raise a child. Where is that freaking village and whatever? And we're all looking for it. But after a year of being on High FM, I have to tell you that one of my favorite things about High FM and this whole community is exactly that, the community. I have not met friendlier people in my life, and it's been such a privilege, and I love this community. And there's benefits to having a community and having a support system. And you have this village, so please use the village. It's very important. But it's very interesting because there are like a lot of studies that actually do show that there is a strong tie between moms' well-being and their level of social support. So moms who feel personally supported tend to feel less anxiety, depression, stress, and loneliness, and more satisfaction and fulfillment. So overall, again, count your blessings to have this village. If you don't have it, that is why I have Amanda here today. So my guest today joining me, very happy to share this with you, is Amanda Louw. She's a mom as well. Like you know, I love to have moms on or parents on my show. And she's the founder and mom behind the scenes from Moms of the Midlands. We're going to talk a bit about that just now as well. Hello, Amanda.
Hello, Yolandi.
Thank you so much for joining me today. I myself have quite a village I have created, and I often mention it on the show as well, because people know that I know an odd amount of people in the parenting industry. So sometimes if I have a problem, I could really tap into some really great resources. So I don't think I'm the standard parent.
Excellent.
But yes, so Amanda, like I said, today specifically, we are talking about creating that village and why it is important for us to have that support system as moms when we go through this really hectic journey. And I always say it's a long game. You shouldn't think of the short game when it comes to this. But again, if you want to join in the conversation, please send us a telegram on 061 895 1019, especially if you have some questions about your support structure and want to just share in the discussion, that would be great. So let's start with the question. I think I've already kind of answered it. But why do you think it is important that moms feel supported in this journey?
Thank you, Yolandi, and thank you for this opportunity to feature on your radio podcast show. For me, as you mentioned, I think motherhood is amazing, but it can also be very challenging and lonely at times, as you said. And agree that a strong support network of family members, friends, professionals are essential for a new mom. And for me, it made a huge difference as a first-time mom. And like you said, especially for your mental health and your well-being. We really can't do it all alone. And I think when you're a new mom, it's really important to feel secure, to feel taken care of, and to also feel understood. So, yeah, where we can also learn from one another, laugh together and cry together.
I like that. And I mean, the laugh and the cry for me is such a testament of what motherhood is about. I mean, you've mentioned it now in different ways as well. But I always say that for me, motherhood is really that where you realize having two contradicting thoughts at the same and feelings at the same time is absolutely normal. You can feel grateful about being a mom and hate it at the same time. It is a possibility. And I think that's why it's also sometimes so exhausting, because your brain and your heart is constantly trying to to help it and sort itself out.
Yes, no, absolutely.
So you started and founded Moms of the Midlands, which is a bit of a community and a support structure, especially for moms in the Midlands. And I mean, I know some moms there, and I'm always so jealous of the community that you've created. But again, luckily, I'm part of the High FM community, so I have my own backup here. But what is it? Tell us a little bit about your own support structure. Like, obviously, this came about in some way. What did you feel as a mom, first-time mom? What was the support that you needed?
So Moms of the Midlands I established in July of 2020.
That's brave.
Midst of COVID.
That's when you really needed support, though.
When we all really needed support. So it was just over a year after Trent, my little boy, who's now 4 years old, after he was born, just about a year after he was born. And it was inspired by a friend, a neighbor, a doula, Jenny, who really supported me right through my pregnancy. I had the most incredible pregnancy, incredible birth experience, and had the most incredible support, especially from her. And she really inspired me to create this space for moms, because I realized that not everybody has a Jenny. And so many moms are so alone. And where do you go? Who do you turn to for support? And, I started out Moms in the Midlands initially as a support group. So I would bring moms together. We would have guest speakers, just sharing our experiences, really just to connect, to learn, and to thrive. And that's my sort of slogan. And then the entrepreneur in me, in May of 2021, I launched the online platform that it is today. And that's basically an online directory with a growing network of service providers, local businesses, parenting resources, and that sort of thing. So basically a network of professionals. And I just hold that space as a supportive community for our moms.
And I mean, it's so interesting because it's also like, I mean, that's also another thing now. I mean, I became a parent. I was a new mom quite some time ago. Instagram was not the way it is today. Facebook definitely featured, but everything I felt was a lot more muted.
Yes.
than what it is like now, 12 years on. I'll mention that's how long, that's when it started. But I mean, for me, that's also sometimes the thing is that it's relatively easy, I feel these days, to find a community. But to really find a community and one that is legit and giving you the right support that you need is not always so easy, because it's difficult to filter through all the noise sometimes. And sometimes the advice that you can get can be wrong, to be honest. Maybe wrong is not the right word, but doesn't fit with what your values are. I mean, for me, that's nice. What I just want to say is very nice about something like Moms of the Midlands, because you filter through. You're like the the filtering system in that to help and filter through the noise so that you are getting legit things. But I'm looking forward to get more into that just now.
Excellent.
This is Bump and Beyond with Yolandi Becker, the show about pregnancy and babies. 101.9 megahertz of life.
If you've just joined me, I am Yolandi Becker, and you are on Bump and Beyond, the show all about parenting. And today's topic is specifically talking about creating those support networks. And I think for me, the important part of, and I mean, I showed it, moms have less anxiety if they have better support. And I've taught you this already. If you've missed it, of course, afterwards you can go listen to the podcast on highfm.com. But an important part of the support is obviously that you are taking care of yourself, because the support actually helps with that aspect of it. If you've just joined me, you won't know that I've been talking to Amanda Louw. She is the founder and mom of Moms of the Midlands. And she's been talking about her own experience and your own, what was it called? What was it called? Jenny, yes. Jenny, your support structure. But there is different kinds of supports, I feel, out there. I mean, there's obviously a Jenny that's a lot more personal kind of support, but we do have different support. What are some of the different kinds of support networks out there?
I think for me, family, definitely. So family members, friends, and professionals. So like my friend Jenny, who's a doula, and medical professionals. And then also local support groups and moms groups. And that's really where you find your community, is amongst those. And it's a huge passion of mine, obviously, also to hold that space for moms, and to provide that supportive community and host moms groups, events, and things of that sort of nature.
I think it makes. I'm still friends with some of the moms that I did pink footprint with when my son was a baby. So I know the value for sure of these networks. And to be honest, I think these networks also change and evolve. For me, friendship in itself, if you get babies and your friends don't initially, the networks change and the support change. It doesn't mean you forget about those people, but it does. I mean, for me, some of the people I see the most are the people from my kids' school.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not friends with all of them. Some of them I am. Hello, shout out to all of you, but not all of them. But I do see them quite regularly. For me, just that, your child is also not a baby anymore. Has your support structure changed over the years and evolved? Has certain things remained the same?
Absolutely. A lot has remained the same. And I think in actual fact, it's just got stronger, which is amazing. And I suppose it's the nature of my business. It's what I do. So I have the privilege of connecting with so many people, and I've built so many amazing relationships. It's just got stronger. And obviously, the family are still around. I'm privileged to share space with my folks. My mom-in-law is hands-on. And of course, my hubby, he's a very hands-on dad as well. So,
Privilege.
Absolutely. Count my blessings.
I know, but I mean, it is, like I said, for me also interesting how, and I mean, I definitely do still have certain people support networks that I had before, like I would now like think for instance, my kid's pediatrician. I haven't gone to the pediatrician in a very long time because I was like, I don't need to pay that amount of money now that my kids are older. So he was initially part of it, but he is gone now and they go to my normal GP. And to be honest, I really love her, so I'm glad we made that move. And she's definitely one of the people on my list of support network. Shout out to Dr. Ebershon. I'm not sure if she's going to listen to this, but I'll send it to her so that she knows. But I think that's also for me personally, what I've realized is that sometimes it's also just like with some friendships or seasonal. I think even your support structure can change and evolve. In some ways, like with you now, it has become definitely stronger, and there's parts of my support structure who's also become stronger. But there is definitely some of the support networks that have changed into something different. But I mean, how can we build these support networks?
Sure. I think for me, it's about reaching out to family members, to reaching out to close friends, sort of in your circle, people that, like you say, your friendship circles might change and suddenly you become friends with moms who, they're also moms, so they're sharing in the same experience as you, So to reach out and to not be afraid to open up, to chat, to share. And to seek help as well from local support groups. So find those support groups in your area, and if there aren't any, create them.
But I mean, how would you go about? Would you date? I mean, for me and for you, maybe those type of things can be very easy. I'm very easy. I'm like that person who has never stood in a queue and not spoken to the person in front of me and at the back of me.
Yeah.
It's very unlikely that will happen.
Yes.
I'm just that person, but obviously I also know that not all moms are like that. What do you think is an easier route if you want to now create this? Is it online that the support structure is? Is it telling your friend that they should do it?
Invite a friend and take them with you. I think you're so right. And, working with mums, I've come across all different types of mums. And I think we do sometimes forget we are those type of people. And there's mums who are a little bit maybe more reserved, more introverted. So how do they find that space? And I think that, like you mentioned earlier, isn't it amazing having technology today and the online platforms that we do have? I'm sure it's about finding the right ones out there. And I think there's so many, and you could potentially find your fit wherever it might be. And or just in a close circle. I mean, just even if it's one or two other friends, who maybe are going through the same thing, just to make an effort to maybe come together and just chat about your experiences and what you're going through. And I know we're very fortunate here in the Midlands. Like you said, we've got an amazing community. And, our doulas and people like that, they actually also hold space for new moms, which I think is amazing. And it's just really encouraging moms to just go out there and try and don't be afraid.
And I mean, it is in the end of the day, I think that's the thing is that what you're saying in essence is that it's a support network. Maybe network is a too strong a word. It doesn't necessarily, I mean, you even mentioned in the beginning, Jenny, it was one person that you needed. And that's all it really takes to create a network or community or support structure. Sometimes it's that one person. And I can also remember the fantastic clinic sister. She was Katunka, is her name. I now know her in a professional capacity as well. Which is actually a little bit, I hope she can't remember the stuff that she helped me with. Luckily, I think she saw a lot of moms in their worst time. But I mean, to be honest, that one person made such a big difference for me with regards to breastfeeding and things like that, that sometimes all you need is that one person. And I do have to give a big shout out to lactation consultants and people like that, because I'm yet to meet a lactation consultant that is not nice. They are absolutely built for helping people, and it's a passion for them. I've not met a lactation consultant that's in it for the money, because it's not a very lucrative. They're in it for the passion. And to be honest, I think that's one network that I would encourage each mom to go to. For me as well, the big thing, like I said, was these mom groups like Pink Food Pret. And I actually had kids long before, even though I'm super social. I had kids not long before, but I was one of the first in my friend groups, surprisingly, that had children. Everyone was surprised. It wasn't by accident, it was on purpose. And I really, I didn't really know how to find other moms because my kids, I was a stay-at-home mom, then I quit my job. So all the people at work, they were gone. And I was really like, okay, I have nothing. And then luckily I could Google kids play groups in Pretoria and I found Pinkford, and it really changed and opened up my eyes to different things. And then, of course, also not sleeping for a very long time also created a different passion of mine.
Yes.
And that's the thing is, I do think that when we talk about these support, and it could even just be your mom. My mom was far away, so she couldn't really be mine. But she was there emotionally on WhatsApp lots of times. Yeah. If you've just joined me, I am Yolandi Becker, and we are on 101.9 Chai FM, and this is Bump and Beyond. And today in our parenting slot, we are definitely talking about how to find and create a village. Support for each one of us is so important on this mothering or parenting journey. It's not just mothering, it's parenting journey, even though I do think we dominate this platform. I don't want to exclude anyone. But I do think it is important to have some kind of support and not be, I mean, sometimes I think the expectations that society puts on us is to be everything. You have to be a working mom, but also the most present mom ever, and those type of things. But in essence, these support structures is there to help you to take care of yourself, like I mentioned. So, Amanda, tell me some of the things that you do. We all hear that self-care, take care of yourself. Tell me some of the things you do as part of your self-care.
Well, can you believe it was only recently that I actually Googled what the definition of self-care was. And much to my surprise, it wasn't just manicures and facials and lovely bubble baths.
No, I thought it was like a spa day. That's why I was going to a spa day the whole time. I was like justifying it as self-care.
Yeah. So, and no, it's actually so much more than that. And it's really about our physical and mental health, and taking the time to do the things that are good for us, both physically and mentally. And it does. It's eating well. It's making time to do some exercise, and then also taking time out for ourselves. So those spa days are important.
Okay, I just want to say it's coming from an expert here.
I said it.
It's been said.
So yeah, those for me are important things.
Yeah, but I mean, tell me some of the stuff you do to take care of yourself. Do you just go for manicures, pedicures, and spa days? No. Good life there in the Midlands.
It's a great life. It needs to work. I of course do little things to pamper myself and treat myself. We always like to feel beautiful as a woman. So I do spoil myself in little ways, and I do make time. I reward myself in various ways, and maybe it is just a bubble bath or something like that, But I try and keep track of achievements and things that I get to and can tick off my list. And then I think, okay, what am I going to do for myself today? And yeah, even if it's just taking time out, maybe spending time with a friend or maybe going away for a night. I've done that, and that works really nicely. We do need some time out as moms.
And for me, it's so important. And I think as moms, guilt, as soon as you find out you're pregnant, the guilt already starts. And I think once you have your second one, it goes more into a different level. So there's still fun for you to come. But for me, I think that that's the problem, is that when we think of self-care, that often we think of spa days and all these things. And again, just like the support system, I think that we're over analyzing what this process is about self-care. Because, and I mean, then I always say, it's like, you can't take care of someone else, you can't take care of yourself and things like that. But we've all been there that first year. Everything else takes a backseat to the parenting, because you're just tired and exhausted, and you're adjusting your own mindset still to this fact that all of a sudden I love something so incredibly much, and I don't understand how it's possible that I can love something so much, and how I'm struggling so much with this new person that I have instantly became overnight. And it takes a while to catch up, for your mind to catch up. And luckily, I can assure you it does happen eventually. Sometimes you're still wondering. But for me, and again, give yourself the patience and the grace of allowing you to also wallow in that motherhood whirlpool in the beginning. That's part of self-care, is letting your brain catch up to this new role. But then as well, to make time and space for the other things, because you're not just a mother. You're also still someone's partner, most probably. You're still yourself. And unless you're taking the time to create the space for it, and that is meaning things like maybe moving your child to their own room eventually. And thinking and creating those spaces. I'm not saying you have to, but you're creating. If you're not going to create the space for it, it's not going to happen. And saying yes to grandma who wants to babysit. And just letting go a little bit, even if it's just for an hour, and you're like sitting outside and they are inside.
You don't know what to do with yourself.
And you don't know what to talk about with your husband initially. Like, you feel so pressured in having a good time. But that is all for me about that self-care, is making the moment. And then a big thing that was a game changer for me recently is exercise. And making the time for it. And I remember so many years and so many nights being like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. And it was just because I was so unfit. And it's really funny how that happens. But Amanda, I'm really loving chatting with you. And as you can hear, I'm like, I can go on and on about self-care and self-preservation. But also I do like a good spa day, that I can tell you. I really do love that. But we can continue our conversation just now.
Okay, great.
This is Bump and Beyond with Yolandi Becker, the show about pregnancy and babies. 101.9 megahertz of life.
If you've just joined me, you are on 101.9 High FM. I am your host, Yolandi Becker. And as always, on Bump and Beyond, we are talking parenting. We're very strongly coming to the end of our show. But don't despair. If you want to listen to this podcast and all of our other podcasts, it will be available on highfm.com for you to go listen to. And not just my show, all of the other great shows that we have on High FM. And as always, I want you to join in the conversation. If you've just joined us, I am speaking to Amanda Louw. She is the founder and mom of the Midlands. And we're talking about support systems and taking care of yourself as a mom. As they say, you can't take care of others if you can't take care of yourself. So please share some of your tips, your insights, just comments Even if you have a grandma now, let us know if you're struggling to take care of your grandchild. I want to hear that. So send us a telegram on 061 895 1019, or you can SMS us at 34519. SMSs are charged at R1.50. So Amanda, before the wonderful adverts, we were talking about self-care. And yeah, again, I was now mentioning that, again, moms struggle with self-care, especially in the beginning. Why do you think moms struggle with self-care? Are we just so full of ourselves?
Full of nonsense.
So busy.
I think time is definitely a factor. I think, like you mentioned earlier, it's about making time. So we've got to make time for exercise. We've got to make time to do the things that we need to do and would like to do. And then partly mom guilt. I think you mentioned that as well just now. I think that's a huge factor. I think we feel guilty for doing something for ourselves, and we really shouldn't, because we need to be okay with giving ourselves that permission to take care of ourselves and to put ourselves first.
Oh, no, and I mean it's also putting yourself first. I think I really feel we need to have a better wording for those type of things. Also for self-care, because I feel it comes with such a demanding, thing that the guilt is just kind of infused in it, because, now I'm a mother and I have to take care of everyone else. And that's kind of our first priority. But just because you are taking the time to take care of yourself does not mean that you are neglecting or taking away from those other things. And that's important for me to kind of remind you of. It is absolutely okay to do that. But that brings me now, because you mentioned time. And I think I've even stopped doing that. I don't tell, or I try not to. I'm not always good with it. But if people tell me, how am I, or how's it going, I don't say busy anymore. Because I actually feel like the only person I am convincing, because then I am hearing that I'm busy, obviously 5 to 6 times a day. So the only person who's hearing this mantra of I'm busy is me.
So, keep telling yourself that.
Yeah. So I have stopped telling myself that. And I've actually started using the word productive.
Much better word.
Yes. So please feel free that everyone starts saying productive instead of being busy.
I like
And because I really feel that that's the key phrase for everyone. And it's like, we're all busy. I have not met anyone who has told me, oh, I am so bored. I've never heard that.
No, me neither.
So what do you, that elusive work life, and it's like as if work is not life, that work-life balance. What are some of the things that you do to manage that?
So I am only human after all, so I don't always get it right. But for me, I actually have a life coach and mentor who she is a very integral part in helping me achieve my goals. I also have a morning routine inspired by Robin Sharma's 5 a.m. club. So my day starts pretty early.
That is early. 5 a.m. is not something I'm a morning person.
Look, I try. And then I create a weekly work schedule where I prioritize my tasks and I try and work efficiently and productively during the day. And then, of course, having what we're talking about today, having that support network, having that the hubby or family members or friends who, little Trent can spend time with so that I can just get a little bit done, either for myself or for work. And then I do, if my husband and Trent and my family are a priority, So I try and be a patient and present mother, and I make an effort to make time for that, for us to spend time together, and to factor in, like you said, exercise, doing small things, which help you feel better. And the thing I spoke about earlier, which, as I said, only recently learned, is giving ourselves permission to take time out and to just hit pause. We as mothers, as wives, as women, we deserve it.
No, I could not agree more. And I love how you're talking about. I mean, that's exactly why I probably invited you here. And you can see the passion for what you do as well is shining through completely, because you appreciate that support network that you have and the people around you. And I mean, that's a privilege, let's be honest as well, to have such a vast support network, because I work often with parents or with moms where the father is there, but he's not helping a lot. Or I've even had it the other way around, where the father is there and the mother is not there. So it can be vice versa. And I mean, it's privilege. Like I said, initially, my mom was not just, now she is. And honestly, she's really she's now 5 minutes away, but she used to be an hour and away. So it's not that she wasn't a feature, but it was a lot more difficult to say, hey, can you be here in 2 minutes? I really need some help, type of thing. And she was still working as well, which she's not anymore. So retirement is really a great option for grandparents, just by the way.
Later when your parents are retired, something like that.
So a really good option, early retirement, if possible. Or having kids only when your parents have retired.
Yeah, exactly.
A good option. I'm kidding. But it is also a privilege to have that now. Honestly, it's a very big privilege. My parents are going on the holiday now for 2.5 weeks, and I'm not really looking forward to that.
Sure. No, it is. It really is a privilege, and it's a blessing to have that.
But again, I'm reminded by Craig that we are slowly but surely having to wrap up soon, but just now after this ad break.
This is Bump and Beyond with Yolandi Becker, the show about pregnancy and babies. 101.9 megahertz of life.
And just like that, our show is very quickly coming to an end. If you've missed the show, this was Bump and Beyond, and today I was talking to Amanda Louw. She is the founder of Mom of the Midlands, and we were talking about creating those support systems, what these support systems are, and of course also taking care of yourself and helping you manage your time a little bit so that you have the opportunity to do that. So if you've missed it, don't despair, because it will be a podcast on our website, chaifm.com. In the future, of course, if you have any queries or questions, please don't hesitate to send us an email at bumpandbeyond at chaifm.com, and we would love to have suggestions. Next week, I am specifically talking about car seat safety, so that's going to be a great talk. Amanda, it was so great to have you on the show. Before you go, you need to give us a little bit more of a taste of what Mom of the Midlands are about and where we can go have a look at where it is.
Great. Thank you so much for the opportunity again. It was great fun. Mums of the Midlands, www.momsofthemidlands.co.za. You can go and check out our online directory. Basically a network of professionals. We've got an incredible growing network of local businesses, services, parenting resources, and a new little addition which we will be adding soon as a sort of addition to our digital offering is an annually printed publication called the Mom's Handbook. And that's going to be a valuable resource, a wealth of information. When you're a new mom and you leave that hospital with your newborn and you have no idea what you're doing. And we all say we wish parenting came with a manual.
The manual has been created or is being created.
Well, there we go. The Mom's Handbook is what we're going to be launching very soon. So please, follow us, watch this space, and
Yes, and I have to say your website as well as your Instagram. What's your handle on Instagram? It's Moms of the Midlands.
Moms
Yeah.
of the Midlands, yes.
It's beautiful as well. I love looking at it, and the little elephant on it's very cute. I really like it a lot. Thank you so much for joining me. On that note, again, just a final thought from me with regards to self-care and making or that elusive work-life balance is that in the end of the day, and I read it recently, is that you have to prioritize your time according to what your priorities are. Meaning that if your family is your biggest priority, they should get the chunk of your time or the best of your time, at least. So make those opportunities to create that. And the key to that, and I am a mom now for over 12 years, and I still struggle with it. I don't manage it at all the time. But I can assure you, as a person who has 5 different jobs, and I am a mother of 2, the key is to learn to say no. When you are presented with an opportunity to meet up with a friend or to help out something, you need to go to that list of priorities and look at it and see how you've allocated your time, either for the day or for the week. And if that does not fit in, you have an obligation to your family and yourself to say no. And to be honest, you don't need to give. And I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why we hate saying no, is that because we feel that we need to give a reason why we're adults here. And for those people, and I can tell you, the people who know me, they know if I say no, there's a reason for it. I would never just say no. But you need to learn and put on your mom pants and your big girl pants and learn the skill of saying no and prioritizing your time to what is important to you. So go make your list and go cross-check it. But anyway, on that note, the world is not changed by our opinion. It is changed by our example. Let's lead by example for our children. I look forward to having you join me next week. Thank you for joining me today. Until next time, enjoy your day.